Tens of thousands of jobs in New York City rely on one thing: tourists, and the latest variant and surge affecting businesses once again.
City leaders say it could delay the city's comeback, at least temporarily. Eyewitness News investigative reporter Dan Krauth shows us why.
For many, it's the most wonderful time of the year to visit New York City, a city built around tourism. But last spring, when we interviewed those in charge of bringing back visitors,
I see the ship turning later this summer into the fall.
They thought the city's recovery would be farther along this holiday.
Yeah, well, it's been a topsy-turvy road, but a lot of pivotal milestones, a lot of challenges.
When visitors started returning for events like the U.S. Open and the lights coming back up on Broadway, something else showed up in the city. A new variant.
With the Delta surge, one thing that we did learn is people still learn to travel, especially domestically.
Even so, 34 million people visited so far this year, about half the amount compared to the year before the pandemic.
It's going to require some patience, but I'm fully confident that New York will be back on its feet.
And this past November, international travelers showed back up from around the world, able to return once again to watch the Thanksgiving Day parade in person.
It's a feeling of freedom and communion with everyone.
The city expects the amount of international visitors to triple next year.
I wanna be a part of it. New York, New York.
The city needs them. It launched its largest ad campaign in history to help entice them to visit. There are more visitors from the U.S. than international tourists, but the farther they come, the more money they spend.
20% of tourists, but they have 50% of the spending.
50% of spending, and they represent 50% of our total hotel room nights sold.
Earlier this month, New York had the highest hotel occupancy rate since the pandemic started, 81%, the highest in the country. But with the latest COVID surge that's pausing some Broadway shows and events, the Hotel Association says they've seen thousands of cancellations in just the last week.
I'm hopeful that, by the spring, you're going to start to see some growth.
Growth that will take some time as people wait to see how the Omicron variant plays out. They're not expecting tourism levels to get back to normal until another 2 ball drops in 2024. Dan Krauth, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.